Hey, what is up, Conroe? This is Rick TRC. You are listening to Lone Star Community Radio on 104.5 KCZWLP Conroe and 106.1 on KZCCLP Conroe and worldwide on irlonestar.com.
Hello, everyone. I am Margie Taylor, your host for Conroe Culture News, FM 104.5, 106.1. And you can live stream on Conroe Culture News on Facebook or irlonestar.com and catch everything. Of course, we will have this all posted off of YouTube later on today, or you can listen live, whatever you want to do. But this show is sponsored, as always, by Rodgers, Stein, Chiropractic. And in fact, today, as the first guest, we have Stacey Rodgers here sitting here. But let me go through a few other intros. So in the second half, we will hear from Melanie Bush, our treasurer, Melisa Miller, and Tammy McRae, who is our tax assessor, who you make those wonderful checks out to, Tammy McRae. And we're going to talk about women in politics and some of the hardships. But what's really cool today is that we have all women leaders in the community. And Stacey Rodgers is, of course, one of those. And she's going to talk about her ladies' night out and such. But a few other things that are going on. Last week was 4th of July, which would be normally the first Thursday. And because it was the 4th of July, we moved the farmers market, or market days as we call it. And the first Thursday concert has been moved to this Thursday. So you can see all the fun for free July 11th. From 4 to 8 is the market days, and the music starts at 7 o'clock until 9 with a tribute band to George Strait music, all free. Bring your lawn chairs, bring your blankets, come shop the market, get produce, honey, jams, jewelry, lots of really unique things. In fact, even olive oil. You can get a lot of different things. So again, that is this Thursday at Heritage Park. And not to miss is the last show of the 2018-2019 theatrical stuff that we have going on. And this is the end of their year, so the last performances. So the Owen is showing Daddy's Dying, Who's Got the Will? And you can go to owentheater.com to get tickets for that. And that's a comedy. And then we have Annie, the beloved orphan from New York City, playing at the Crichton Theater. And that has a lot of local young youth actors. There's a dog involved, Sandy the dog, of course. And that dog is actually in the DA's office. So it's making its rounds. And then we have some great adults also in that. It's a great family show, Annie, about the orphan Annie, who is looking for her real biological parents in 1930s New York City. So you can get tickets still, but you better hurry at crichtontheater.org. And the performances are both great at both of our local theater show houses. So also going on this Friday at Beanpunk Coffee across from the courthouse on the east side of the courthouse is a trivia night with The Office trivia. So if you're a fan of The Office, go there, hang out, and of course that's free as well, and that's at 7 p.m. And of course there's always live music every night of the week in downtown Conroe. There's a flick and float with the city of Conroe at the Oscar Johnson Jr. Pool, and they are showing Lego movies. So bring Lego Movie 2. So bring your floaty, your little noodle, and go float in the pool and watch a movie. Something fun to do. And lastly, our local art league, the Conroe Art League, is hosting their monthly art reception, and they're located on Simonton, right by the Red Brick Tavern, and that's this Saturday from 5 to 8, absolutely free. Go in there, see all the new exhibits, see the awards they're giving out. They're presenting a Madeley Award, and that's going to be presented by Marianne Madeley Metcalf, and the People's Choice Award, and that is sponsored by Juan Catavila, and he's a member of the Art League, and he's an instructor of portrait painting, but he donates $400 to the artist that gets the most votes from the People's Choice Award every month. So go check it out. Okay, so we are now moving on to the first guest, which is Stacey Rodgers. Hey.
Hi, Margie. I'm so glad to see you are doing better. Everybody's good to see you always, and you're on wheels this show, so you're recovering. I see that.
Yes, it's going to be a long recovery, but hey, that's what happens when you have Achilles surgery. And actually, over 30 years of running, I guess it kind of wears out. Isn't that what happens?
Well, things change. That's
Things
for
change,
sure.
that's
We
for
wish you
sure.
the best and hope you get well soon and can return to all the things that you like to do.
Like
ASAP.
walking?
Like walking, running, going to all the chamber events, all of our
Oh, I
community
still do
events.
that
Yes.
too. And speaking of that, you have an event coming up. And
Next-
yes, it's coming up next week on July 16th.
Yes, Tuesday night, a week from tomorrow, from 5 to 7 at our clinic, which is 3303 West Davis. The whole community is invited, and it's our Ladies' Night Out. We are very excited. We're going to have wine, and we're going to have appetizers from All Star Catering. Cody and Candace Spence are going to cater the event for us. We have lots of door prizes. We're going to have over 35 door prizes.
Wow, that's a lot.
Giving away a Coach purse.
Wonderful stuff.
Free massages. Did I say free massages?
You did not. But
Yes.
you're also partnering with CASA, right?
Yes, absolutely. We're really looking forward to CASA coming. They are going to let the community know what they do, how they advocate for kids that are in the foster care system. And we're going to be raising money for CASA that night.
So it's really cool. And you're a chiropractic center. You've been in business in Conroe for how many years?
We opened up our doors in early 2004, and
Okay.
we've been running ever since.
And you do spectacular business. I mean, a lot of it's referral.
Yes.
All the time.
Yes.
People are coming in to see you. And you partner with CASA because it's so in line with your mission.
Yes.
You do a lot of kids' activities, and you're a part of the International Chiropractic Pediatric Association.
Yes. That's a mouthful.
It is a mouthful. I had to really look at that to make sure I said it right. Of course, there's an acronym, ICPA.
Yes,
But it's all about the kids.
Yes, Dr. Manzanares, she was one of my assistants when she was a senior at Sam Houston, and she went to Parker University, earned her doctorate, and has come home and joined our practice. And she is also certified in pediatric and pregnancy care. So we see lots of kids in our practice. We actually have a kids' night once a month, which is very fun. And if you go to our Facebook page, you can see all the pictures.
And they're
from our kids'
themed.
night. They're themed, yes, they are themed. And we have themes every month, but we see kids all day, every day. But we wanted to do something to give back to kids, so we chose CASA. And we've known about CASA in our community from the beginning of our days of our practice.
You've been partnering with them for many years.
Yes, absolutely. They're a great organization, very organized, and they are able to help people in much needed. And we have CASA patients as well as social workers that are in our practice that work for CPS. And so we get to hear firsthand some of the stories in our community, as well as how CASA can help kids that are in our community. So we really enjoy giving back to an organization that makes a difference.
Well, and you're very relatable to any age, but especially the kids, because when you have your themed nights, you really get into it as well.
do.
Whether it's a pajama night or superheroes, or, you have all kinds of different themes.
Yes.
Every month, and you have a large number of people that come out there and
We have whole
participate.
families that come.
And they look forward to it.
They look forward to it. They come, all of them dressed up. So we had luau theme last month. So we had grass skirts and leis and Hawaiian music, and we were all dressed in summer theme board shorts, and
Might as well have fun.
we had a blast. So we had the big flowers in our hair, and
Oh, yeah.
and Dr. McGee, he's always game for dress up. So he was in his shorts and flip flops and ready
I can see it.
ready to adjust. So the next theme coming up that we have is going to be superheroes, and so we have superhero chiropractic costumes, and we'll be in our.
Well, you are
Capes.
superheroes.
Well,
The cool thing about chiropractic care, it's non-surgical, and it's all how you put your hands on and
Yes.
treat,
Yes.
your patients. And you do it in a loving manner. You know how to help people with whatever's going on with them so they can have a healthy life forever.
Yes.
Long lasting.
Yes.
And you can even help with degenerative disc diseases. And you're certified in the Cox Technique.
Yes.
Tell me about that.
The Cox Technique is a very unique technique, and we brought that into our practice about 3.5 years ago to help patients that would otherwise be left with no options but drugs or invasive procedures such as surgery. And it's specifically designed for patients that have disc problems or problems that cause radiating pain into the arm or legs, or pain radiating from the neck up into the head. And it is definitely a technique that's for a more complicated type patient. And there are only 8 people in the state of Texas that are currently practicing this technique. So we went to Indiana and worked with one of the universities in Indiana to gain our certification. So Dr. McGee is also Cox Technique certified, as well as Dr. Manzanares.
Well, that makes you very unique in your office, that you have 2 trained physicians.
Yes.
And you have a total of 3 physicians.
Yes.
All 3 of you are trained
All
in that?
3 of us are certified neck and low back in the Cox Technique.
And that's really important. That's a huge asset. And I know that all of you treat patients of any age and very successfully, and help them tremendously, because when your back hurts, you can just forget it. You can't walk, you can't participate in work activities or anything else.
When someone can't do whatever it is that they want to do, that's what we seek to restore. So if someone's main thing is to play with their grandchildren, but they can't get up and down to play with their grandchildren, then their life is completely affected.
Sure.
And what they want to do is not just get out of pain, they want to get back to the thing that's important
Their
to them.
livelihood.
Yes,
What's important.
absolutely.
Live life.
Right.
And that's where you really make a difference. So your ladies' night out, you've been done this every year in July for a long time. What number is this?
This is 11 or 12. I need
Really?
to look back.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. I wasn't sure.
Well, the reason I know that is because the first year that we did that, I had a woman who was pregnant, and she came to the ladies' night out, but she was in such agony that I actually moved my adjusting table out into the parking lot to give her an adjustment. And that
Right
child
away.
is turning 12 or 13 this year.
That's exciting. So you see people from generations for a long period of time. That says a lot.
Yes.
You know. So again, that is Ladies' Night Out is Tuesday, July 16th. That's a week from tomorrow, from 5 to 7 p.m. at 3303 West Davis and Conroe by Conroe High School, Taco Bell. I mean, it's pretty easy to
Yes,
find. You have a
very.
huge banner on the outside. Rodgers, Stein, Chiropractic, and you're really a leader in the community for yourself and who you are as a chamber member and other things, but also for the care that you give people in your office. And they're always ready to help you. You have a great staff. And you're a training facility for other people that want
Yes.
to be.
Yes.
So that says a lot in
Yes.
itself.
Adjunct faculty for 3 universities now. So I do a lot of teaching also, which is fun. So we have 3 of our assistants that will start chiropractic school in August. So that will be number 9, 10, and 11 that will become doctors that we've produced out of our clinic, our Sam Houston Bearcats. We love them, and we're very proud of our
Yes.
Bearcats that have become doctors. So it's exciting.
It is exciting to see how you can nurture
Yes.
the growth and training to move on and really make a difference. And to show that your extent of being involved in the community, and especially where kids and youth are, you're also a lifetime member of the Fair Association, aren't you?
Love our fair. Absolutely. Love our Montgomery-County Fair Association.
You're very involved in the community. So I'm looking forward to next Tuesday, and I hope everybody comes out. It's absolutely free, but
free.
you know, it's ladies, right?
Yep, absolutely. Ladies' night out.
You might have a few scattered men.
A few, but you know, it's
But it's
ladies'
for
night
ladies.
out. Yeah,
And
absolutely.
the food is wonderful. All-star catering. They're delicious, delectable bites.
Yes, the candied bacon will
Oh,
make
yeah,
a
you just
repeat
come for that.
appearance. Yes, yes.
Well, and the prizes, 35 prizes. I mean,
35 prizes
it's
in our
ongoing
Coach
all the
purse.
time. Yes, yes. And so you can sign up for an appointment, and then that goes towards CASA.
Yes, anyone that makes a new patient appointment that night, the fees from that new patient appointment will go to CASA.
Okay. Anything else you want to add?
Come on out. Come have some fun. Come enjoy us. Come take a break in the middle of the summer heat and
That's right.
have a good time.
So you can find them on Rodgers Stein Chiropractic on Facebook, or you can go to their website, rodgerssteinchiropractic.com. You can read more about them, read about the doctors, make an appointment, call them, whatever. And they're also open on Saturdays.
Yes, open on Saturdays. We are open Saturday morning, and we are open after 5. So a lot of places aren't open after 5, and that becomes a barrier to patients getting in. But We have appointments after 5 and on Saturdays.
And you're easy to communicate with because if you go on your Facebook page, there's
You'll see
tons of
us.
people messaging, direct messaging. So there's that as well. Okay, well, thank you, Stacey. I appreciate it. And as always, because she is the sponsor for the show and has been for a period of time, we're going to take a quick break and come right back.
Thanks, Margie. Get well soon.
Since 2004, Rodgers Stein Chiropractic has offered spine and joint manipulation services to residents of Montgomery County and surrounding areas. Conditions treated include lower back pain, migraines, headaches, whiplash, carpal tunnel, neck pain, sciatica, joint pain, sports injuries, herniated discs, and complications from pregnancy. Rodgers Stein Chiropractic, led by Dr. Stacey Rodgers and Dr. Brian McGee, is an integrity-verified chiropractic clinic. Call 936-441-9990 for an appointment or visit RodgersSteinChiropractic.com. That's RODGERSSTEIN chiropractic.com.
Path to the Plate is a research-based education program that helps consumers understand how their food choices impact their health by making the connection to agriculture. Learning about how food is grown and produced, and how consumers can make better food choices for themselves and their families, Path to the Plate is all about dispelling myths and misconceptions. Find out more online at pathtotheplate.tamu.edu. We are Texas A&M AgriLife Extension, helping Texans make their lives better.
This is Rick, TRC. Every Tuesday on my show, Afternoons with Lone Star from 3 to 7, I play back-to-back classic rock hits. That's right. I like to call it a 2 for Tuesday or a 3 for whatever it is you'd like. Call the request line, 936-647-3776, or message me on Facebook, Afternoons with Lone Star, make a music request. That's right, you can do it. Here's what else. Go over to our website, irlonestar.com. Get the app on your phone. It's easy. You'll like it.
Don't forget to download the Lone Star Community Radio app from your Google Play or Apple Store. Bring Montgomery County's community radio with you anywhere with your smartphone or tablet. If you are in the Conroe area, tune in on FM. That's Conroe's FM 104.5, 106.1. If you are on the computer, bookmark irlonestar.com as your internet radio station. A Lone Star Community Radio, broadcasting 24/7 from the heart of downtown Conroe, Texas.
Are you interested in learning more about preparing quick, healthy, and safe meals for your family? Would you like to spend time with others learning tips and tricks, along with practicing and tasting nutritious food? If so, the On the Road to Healthy Living Mobile Cooking School is for you. Call Amy Ressler at Texas A&M AgriLife Extension Service at 936-539-7825 to find a class near you or volunteer to host a class.
Hey, Montgomery County and online listeners. Thank you so very much for checking out Jazzy Vibes with Soul. What? You haven't done so yet? Well, you've got to tune in. Hi, I am the host of Jazzy Vibes with Soul, Miss CC Holmes, and I invite you to check us out every Friday and Saturday from 7 until 9 p.m., where you will get the best in old school R&B, and of course, a little smooth jazz to make it jazzy. So tune in. That's right, tune in every Friday and Saturday right here on Conroe's 104.5 and 106.1 FM, or worldwide at irlonestar.com.
Hello, and we are back, and I'm very excited to have these three ladies sitting here at the table across from me because they are women in politics in Montgomery County, and it's not easy for women in any job, actually, but especially in politics. So they're going to share some insight, and they are our elected officials. Sitting across from me, I have Melisa Miller, who's our district clerk. I have Melanie Bush, who's our county treasurer. And I have Tammy McRae, who is our tax assessor. And to get all these three women here is awesome, especially when they're not in the middle of running a campaign, because then you see them all the time. But they are busy doing their work that you have put them in office to do. But I'm excited to hear about what's going on, what are some of the challenges, how they got here, and how you're really making a difference. So welcome, ladies.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So it's really great to see you guys. So I'm going to let you tell me a little bit about how it's going. How's it going, Melisa?
Oh, it's going great.
You love it, don't
I
you?
love it. Yeah, I absolutely love it. I couldn't ask for a better job.
What do you like most about it? I know you're smiling, and you continue to smile. And I know that there's struggles, especially when you go into a new place, whatever the environment is, or you take on a new role. And you've been there for a period of time, but it's still different, isn't it?
It's a little different, sitting in the big chair, I guess.
Right.
But
Making decisions.
yeah, it's great though. I mean, it felt like coming home. It was really nice. I took a little vacation, and now I'm back home, and everything's just rolling away. I mean, it's going great.
As normal, right.
Yeah. Everyone in the office is doing a superb job. We've done a lot to boost morale in the office and change things in that direction for a more positive environment, and I think it's really working. Getting a lot of positive feedback from outside of the office as well, and everyone just seems happy, and I'm excited about that.
So what's really nice is that you give updates as to the progress and what's going on, and people can see that on your Facebook page, right?
Yes.
They can find you, Melisa Miller, District Clerk.
And we also have a district clerk, a Montgomery-County-District-Clerk Facebook page now as well.
Right.
That's separate from my campaign page.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. Yes, where they can find out all the information.
Yeah, we'll post closings and any updates that might come through regarding e-file or anything like that may be occurring that people need to know about. So it's a nice way to reach a lot
Inform,
of people.
educate, let people know. And all of y'all, your offices, you can go through the mctx.org to find your county offices as well, right?
Yes.
That's correct.
Yeah, and I think that majority of the county offices now all have not only the websites, but almost all have Facebook pages
Sure.
as well, trying
That's the way it
to make it to where the voters have easier access to all of our information. and
Transparency.
able to see what they need to know. Tammy's office does an amazing job with their Facebook page.
You do. I pay attention to all of that.
We try to post updates, maybe answer some questions, the most frequently asked questions. We also post closures, office closures, or if we're online with the states, with the DMV's motor vehicle system, and so we have little to no control over that system. So when it goes down, we try to post those closures or those outages so that our customers can go to a grocery store. We have 32 grocery stores throughout the county where they can register their vehicle. So we try to be very cognizant of that and post
Yeah,
all
the
these
communication
updates.
is
Yeah.
great. And the way that you've become so efficient in your office is wonderful. I mean, it takes like no time to
Yes.
get anything done in there.
I think it
It's
takes
amazing.
longer to find a parking spot.
Yes, it does.
Well, yeah, but I just park at Wood Forest because I'm a customer. So they're like, you can go.
Right.
But I mean, but it isn't just that. It's about being friendly to people when they come in and answering their questions. And I know for one thing, for you, the lady who's up front with the information is so on top of it. No, you just push this button, this button, this button. This
Right.
is where you need to go.
Well, we feel it's important that, I feel like it's important to have a person greet you when you come in the door.
Absolutely.
No one likes to pay taxes, certainly, but it's one of those necessary evils. And so in order to do that, I think that the more that we can interact with the public and make ourselves accessible, that's why I do not have an automated phone service. We have a person answering those calls, greeting
totally
you when you
makes a
come in.
difference.
In fact, you were talking about efficiency. We have a call center now. When I took office, I asked the questions. What are some of the most frequently heard complaints that we have. And one of them was, I can't get through to your office. And so working through our IT department, we're able to get a few stats, and it was surprising. We started out at 59% calls completed. Well, that's not acceptable. And I put a focus and an emphasis on customer service. That's our number one priority. And part of that is through answering the phone calls. And we have a phone center now, call center, where there are 6 people answering those calls at all times.
Very efficient. So that just goes to show you what women can do in leadership positions.
Absolutely.
And Melanie, I know you're just waiting to tell us something about that.
Well, and I'm
You're a very
I'm
strong
different
woman.
from both of these. You
Yes,
know, both,
everybody, all three of
Melisa
you are
and
different.
Tammy's departments deal with the public.
Yeah.
And, the treasurer's office, we don't deal with the public on a regular basis. We do when, there's a jury check issue or something along those lines. But our job is taking care of the other county departments and taking care of the monies coming into the county. So Tammy and I work together regularly because all the taxes that she's collecting, our portion of it, she gets to us. And Melisa and I work hand in hand with all the fees that are coming
You're the
in
middle
through the
person.
district clerk's office. So it's really nice to have other people in office that you work well with, and
Right.
that when there's something that comes up, we can go, hey, what about this? And start talking through potential solutions together.
So it made me think of something. How is it different communicating with women versus other men?
I really don't find that to be an
No?
issue. No.
That's good.
I try to have a great working relationship with all elected officials. And I've never hesitated to reach out to one
That's
of
good.
them if I've had an issue or just a question. And I hope they feel the same of me. That's one of the things I try to do is be very accessible, not only to the taxpayers, but to my fellow elected officials. But I really haven't found that to be an issue.
I would agree.
That's good to hear. So let's get back to how difficult is it to get in office for a woman? We don't have that many women, but we're growing, seems like, right? Is that the trend to get more women involved in our county governance?
I think it's just important to have all voters involved.
Of course it
whether
is.
Anything, but I do think it's interesting, what we're able to accomplish. But I think that the point is to have people that are knowledgeable about
Qualified.
their area and
Yes.
that are getting into office, whether they're male or female, doesn't seem
It's irrelevant.
Right. It's about the job itself
about
and
the
how
job,
they
yeah.
will be able to
Right.
do that job. So.
I agree. My predecessor, of course, everyone knows J.R. Moore Jr.
Sure, absolutely.
And he was there for 27 years. Well, an interesting fact that someone pointed out to me was I am the first female tax assessor collector for Montgomery County. So I take that as, that's an honor. I never forget 1 minute that the people elected me to do a job, and I am there to serve them. So that they entrusted that to me is certainly an honor.
Very much so.
Whereas I think that in my position, I don't know that there's been very many men. In the past.
Right.
I mean,
Women,
it's-
right.
The treasurer's office has mainly been a female role, so.
Yep, that's true.
Mine's a good mixture.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I think you all work very well together, and you're transparent and very approachable. And I think that's a huge asset, is that when you're out in the community and you meet somebody new, you're very friendly, and people can ask you questions. And probably the one who gets asked, well, actually, I think all three of you get asked questions all the time about what you do. And especially with the treasurer's department.
I would say district clerk, who I think all of us get asked quite a
I was just
few,
thinking
yeah.
it's pretty well proportioned out that you're out in the public, and people want to know, because I think people are starting to get more concerned about local politics and how it works and how it affects them and their finances and their money and their home and all of those things. So I know for sure that y'all are making a huge difference. And you are very transparent, and you put stuff on your Facebook where people can follow and pay attention. But yet, when you don't like something, you are okay about putting it out there, too. I know, Melanie, you've spoken, your heart, which is what you are elected to do when you see something isn't right, like at commissioner's court or something like that, which probably isn't fun.
No, I think the most important thing, though, is all of us trying to find a solution. I think
Absolutely.
that no matter whether you agree or disagree with something, it's the way in which we need to approach it is looking for that solution. And that's something I think we could all do better at as a society. So
Getting past the obstacles and finding real answers. So how hard was it to get in office? Are you glad that's part of it is done for a period of time now?
For them,
Get a
not for
break.
me.
no,
I mean, you both have 4 years,
It
right?
was-
Now?
yes.
Okay.
I'm not going to say it was like extremely hard, but I mean, it was a race.
It was
and
tiring.
You had to run it, and very tiring, physically and mentally exhausting, emotionally exhausting. But I know Melanie and I both had, at home, we had a great support system. I mean, our husbands were tremendous.
That's absolutely
in
true.
helping us get elected. And you have to have somebody that you can go home to and talk about what's going on, because I mean, there are things that get said and, things happen, but it's okay. It's part of the race that you
knew that
into
going
it,
in, right?
Yeah.
And
it's
you talked
expected.
about it.
But having someone at home that supported you and is always there for you and can pick you back up and say, let's go.
That's huge.
It's very huge. And I had it, and I'm very thankful for my husband, my kids, my mom. I mean, I had a huge support system. And I know Melanie did too. And
Absolutely.
Tammy's going to as well. I mean, she's got a wonderful husband too.
Yes,
that
yes,
supports
he's
her
out there
and-
all the time with you, right by your
Yes.
side. And yeah, I think it's really, it says a lot because it takes so much time to do a campaign. I mean, let's say 12 to 18 months out or whatever, you start getting it going and then it accelerates and so on. But you also have family, you've got young kids
And jobs.
and
that we're
jobs
still
that you're
doing.
already
Yes.
doing. Hello. Everything doesn't just stop. And you just have to have that will. It's kind of like you mentally prepare yourself, and that keeps you ignited to keep going forward, right?
Yeah, I think Melisa and I have definitely discussed in the past the advantages that we both had with men that were supportive, but also that were strong enough, and I'm going to say this, to encourage us to do this. Having a wife in the political world is not easy. Men are designed to be our protectors, especially husbands are designed to want to keep us mentally, emotionally, whole and not having a hard time. And the campaign is tiring and it is emotional and it takes a lot out of you. And so to have a husband that is willing to embrace that with us, I think we're all blessed with. And then to have kids, I mean, Melissa's daughter's younger than mine and my daughters are younger than Tammy's, but to have kids that are all in this too. And for Tammy, I know the grandkids are even involved.
Oh, yeah.
It's a family affair. My daughters went block walking. I know that, Sophia and Noah went block walking with Melisa. My youngest really enjoyed it and wants to do it more. And I'm like,
so too.
we'll have a chance
She's a
later.
leader. I can already
But
see that.
It's so critical that I would say that our young girls coming up after us see, and this is where I think that it's a little bit different for women, but see women that are willing to step out there. All too often, the only difference I would say between women and men in politics is we often hold ourselves back. I don't think it's a man holding any woman back. I think it's that we as women see all that needs to happen and go, oh, I can't do that.
Right. Too many
I'm
things
not,
to juggle.
I'm not that qualified, or I have too much else on my plate.
Correct.
And at the end of the day, a lot of times a man will see a list of qualifications for something and say, oh, well, I have half of those. I'm good. Whereas a woman will say, oh, I only have half of those, and hold herself back.
Yeah.
And what I love is these two women are so encouraging of me and of other women. They've both been involved in the county a whole lot longer than I have. Yes, Melissa's a new elected official, but she
been
understands
in
this
that office.
county and been in that office. Here I am stepping in, and to have women that come alongside you that say, you got this, and let's, navigate this differently has been incredibly helpful.
It is, and that's a great point. It is different. And that's, I guess, what I was alluding to, that women are the ones who are the caretakers of the family generally, very generally, you know, and working and trying to do the things and going home and fixing the meals and all that. And so you're taking on another role, and it isn't just any role when you're running a campaign. It's huge because you're often out every night, right?
And you're in the public eye.
Yes. Well, right. And things are said a lot of times, whether true or not true, and can be hurtful. And you just kind of have to go on with it because you knew it was coming. And stay in your lane and do what you know is right and true and for the reason that you're running, right?
That's right. What I always tell people as I go out is just make sure you're running for the right reasons. And if you're running for the right reasons, I feel that that your knowledge, your expertise in that field, your customer service, your interaction with your constituents in general, I think they will see that. They will recognize that. You know, like I said earlier, I never take it for granted. I know that I was elected by my constituents of Montgomery County, and I take that very seriously. And I try to, I get a lot of phone calls. A lot of people call and ask for me directly. I can't speak to every one of them, but I try to, if there's a problem, I always try to step in and help resolve the issue as much as possible, or if they come into the office and they have an issue. But campaigns are they are tough. And I'm going into an election year next year. So I'm just getting started with mine. But, you know, one of the, it is hard on your families. You can't do it alone. It affects your families as much as it does you. But it's tough. You know, we're tired. We work during the day. We go out in the evenings to multiple events in one night at times.
Sure.
And I still say J.D. Lambright holds the record for that. I think he went to 4 in one night. But so it is tough. But on the flip side of that, you get to meet some of the most unique people. I mean, we are so blessed here in Montgomery County. We have a lot of interested people in our politics, and I think that's the more people that we get interested in, the more people that are voting, the better Montgomery County I think can be ran. And so that's the good side of it, is getting to meet the people.
Well, there's a lot of caring people. There are so many.
Absolutely.
Once you leave this county, you see the whole difference. I mean, you go into Houston, people, they're all over the place. They're not as connected. And this community really cares. And when they ask a question, it's because they really want to know the answer.
Absolutely.
Generally, it's not to be an antagonist or anything. They really want a true answer. So, and you also just took on another lead role, didn't you?
I did.
Tell us about that.
I was recently appointed by Governor Abbott to the Texas Department of Motor Vehicles board. And by statute, a tax assessor-collector has to serve on that board. And there's 254 of us tax assessor-collectors, and I was appointed. I got the appointment,
Nice.
and so I was very honored, and I take that responsibility very seriously as well, because I'm not only representing tax assessors, I'm representing our motoring public. So it's been fun so far. I hope it continues to be fun.
Wonderful. So we're going to take a quick break and then reconvene in just a few minutes. And this is Conroe Culture News with Margie Taylor.
What can the Better Living for Texans program do for you? You can learn how to increase your consumption of fruits and vegetables, choose foods that are relatively inexpensive and good to eat, make your food dollars last longer, prepare quick, nutritious meals, help your children learn how to eat healthier snacks, and much more. Our program is committed to helping people like you improve your health through providing research-based nutrition education in a friendly, cost-free, and relaxed environment. We are Texas A&M AgriLife Extension, helping Texans make their lives better.
Since 2004, Rodgers Stein Chiropractic has offered spine and joint manipulation services to residents of Montgomery County and surrounding areas. Conditions treated include lower back pain, migraines, headaches, whiplash, carpal tunnel, neck pain, sciatica, joint pain, sports injuries, herniated discs, and complications from pregnancy. Rodgers Stein Chiropractic, led by Dr. Stacey Rodgers and Dr. Brian McGee, is an integrity-verified chiropractic clinic. Call 936-441-9990 for an appointment or visit RodgersSteinChiropractic.com. That's RODGERSSTEIN chiropractic.com.
Lone Star Community Radio is Montgomery County's radio station with talk, music, weather, and traffic for Montgomery County. Have a question, comment about one of our shows? Want to know how to reach a host? Just contact the station on irlonestar.com or call in and leave a message at 936-647-3776. Get involved with your community with Lone Star Community Radio.
And we are back. I'm your host, Margie Taylor, with Conroe Culture News in downtown Conroe, FM 104.5, 106.1, live streaming on there, Facebook Live, or irlonestar.com. And this is on YouTube as well as, I'm sure, on different other social media sites as soon as I'm done. But I'm sitting here with some really important, I think they're important, powerful leaders in the community. I have Melanie Bush, Melisa Miller, and Tammy McRae, and we're just kind of chatting about what their jobs are like, responsibilities, and different things that matter to them and you also. So, Melisa, tell us some updates that you've done to streamline your office.
Well, when I ran, I mentioned that I wanted to start doing citations electronically, where we would issue them and send them back to the attorneys electronically, eliminating all of the paper and the need for the attorney to come to the office and pick them up.
Mm-hmm.
We did that within the first 30 days, and it's working great. More and more attorneys are starting to pick up on it and utilize that service, and it's moving electronically throughout the entire court system now.
Makes sense.
Makes a lot of sense, and hopefully we will start seeing a reduction in our paper usage soon.
That's good.
But that is one of the things that I announced on Facebook, and how I used Facebook was to be able to let the attorneys know you can sign up for this service now. We also started, we used to mail out notice letters to attorneys and parties when an order was signed. Well, instead of doing that, we're utilizing the e-file system, and we're e-noticing them, thus eliminating the paper again, the envelope, and the postage. So
Much more efficient.
Much more efficient. The attorneys are getting notice that their orders are signed way quicker than through snail mail. They're, within 24 hours, they know that the order's been signed. One of the other things that was a complaint that I heard throughout the campaign was the amount of time it took for us to accept a filing through e-filing. So one of the things that we did was we evaluated all of the processes in the office and came up with time standards for the employees and let them know what the standard was for accepting filings and the timeline that we needed to get filings accepted. When I took office on January 1, there were 19 pages of e-filing. We now, every day I get in there and check, and we're down to 3 or 4 pages, which is absolutely amazing. So things are moving a lot faster, streamlined a lot better, and I think running way more efficiently now. One of the other things that I did was we had, I think, 6 locations that had storage that we used for storage for files and different things.
Boxed paperwork and things?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, my goodness. Documents?
So, yeah. We did a massive cleanup, and we're down to 3 locations.
Wow.
Yeah.
That takes a lot of time in itself to go through that.
Yes. We moved literally, I think it was 4 trailer loads from the Woodlands back to downtown Conroe, closed out that location, and then there was a location in the district attorney's building too. So we moved all of those and kind of reorganized it. Mm-hmm. Yeah,
wow.
Cleaned it up, and it's looking great, and things are just moving right along. We're going to continue to work on storage though, and working with the Texas State Library, the archives and commissions, and figuring out, what's permanent, what's not, what we can get rid of, what we have to maintain forever. But, storage is also costly. We have to keep those files at a certain temperature. They can't be exposed to heat. They can't be exposed to UV lights, sunlight, different. There's a lot of things when
people
you're-
don't think about.
Yeah, when you're
Right.
storing a file, it's not just putting it in a box and putting it up in storage and hoping for the best. So we had to, there's a lot of detail to a clerk's position, and as well as Tammy and Melanie's positions. That it's not just the everyday, day-to-day work. It's what we do with it once we're done with it. And a lot of agencies have guidelines for us to follow, and we have to meet those, and along with customer service and making sure everybody's getting what they need in a timely manner. So it's quite a job, but I love it. I don't think I can say that enough.
No,
love
and
it.
I mean, it's very obvious. You seem very confident in what you're doing. You've taken it to the next level, and it seems like hitting your bullet points of things you wanted to
Yes.
accomplish, a little by little. I mean, you don't expect to have it done within the first 6 months, but you're making some progress.
Well, I expect to have everything
Okay.
done the moment I see it. And
Well,
that's the
yeah,
hardest
that's-
part for me is learning you can't get it all done in one day.
Yeah, day by day.
Yeah, my husband's like one day at a time, and I'm like, oh, but it
Patience
can't
is really
be.
hard. I go through that every day right now. Just
Yeah.
hold on. So I want to ask you, tell me about passports. So it has it on your website that's where you go, but I'm thinking that isn't. What's the story on that?
Passports was a big topic during the campaign, and the district clerk is a record keeper, not passport.
It's not the
agency.
passport office.
So I did reduce that division down. It was 7 full-time people. It's down to 1. It's by appointment only. We don't take the pictures anymore. So you basically come with your picture, all of your fees ready, and your application ready, and we'll process it for you. But it's a 15-minute appointment if you're late.
And it's like a month out or so to get an appointment, or several weeks, I know, because I went
opened
online.
it up. We were doing 2 weeks at a time, and we went ahead and opened it up, I think, to 4 or 5 weeks in advance now. But we're finding that people are making the appointment and not showing up. So I think it's starting to reduce. Even what we do is starting to slow down. So, but it's not the main job,
No.
it's not even a duty. It's something it's a service we can provide. It's
And that's it.
optional for the
It's
clerk
an
to-
optional
yeah.
service. People can always mail it in too.
Or go to the post office. I
Right.
hear the Willis post office does a really good job too. That was one of my focuses, is refocusing us back to our records.
Of
And
what
that's-
you're supposed to be
And
doing.
that's one of the reasons why we were able to clean up so much, was because we took the focus and shifted it back to the records, and which is the most important part of our
Sure
job.
it is. Sure it is. So that's great. So how have you changed offices in so many ways? And you have a new system too, don't you?
We're working on the new system. That's a long time work in progress. So
But it's a welcome change,
It
right?
is a welcome change. The system, I heard the best phrasing for the system today. It was called a Flintstone system. I really kind of like that. No, we're working in an old DOS-based system right now, countywide, for the finance
DOS.
system. When I was interviewing new people for some positions, the young ones had no clue what I was talking about.
Of course. Melissa, do you know what that is?
Remember, I worked here 21 years. So.
Melissa may be a little bit more well-versed in
Yeah.
it than I am. But we're working on that. The other thing that we've been focused on is those efficiencies and what we can do to make the office run how it's going to need to run in the next year when the system is fully operational. And some of that we're not able to make all the changes we want to right now because we're in the Flintstone system. We're not able to go as fully electronic as we want to, but we are making those shifts. We're really focused in right now on our investment policy and looking at revising that. And so that's been just a hardcore, I hate to say focus of mine, but we've been so limited in what we can and can't do. The policy has not been thoroughly reviewed in several years. It's reviewed annually, but not detail review. And so we got the committee together, which consists of the county judge and one public member just from the voting population that has investment knowledge. I mean, we really want someone that can advise us and can be knowledgeable. And so we've gone over the policy with a fine-tooth comb and are working on revising that. And we're also going to be doing something that I'm very excited about with it. The way that it's written right now, we review broker-dealers and people that we're working with, banks, on an annual basis for our investment policy. Well, then if somebody changes where they're working, someone that we're working with actively, and they move to a different company, we now can't work with them for until we review the policy again. And so what the committee has agreed to is that we're going to be on a continual acceptance of those applications, and then as a committee, we'll review them on a quarterly basis and put them back through court, so that we're not so limited when things like that occur.
When changes happen.
And when new relationships pop up, we have several wonderful banks in our community that we could invest with and keep your tax dollars here in the local community working. And unfortunately, they aren't a part of our policy. They aren't a part of our approved list. And so at the moment, we can't work with them. And while we need to have those criteria, we don't necessarily need to be limited to only reviewing that on an annual basis. So that's something we've been really focused on, and making sure we have a true assessment of what we need. Digging in, the auditor and I have really looked at cash flow, and there hasn't been a good projection of that and a real good understanding between the two offices of what is needed and at what time frame. And so we haven't known a good laddered investment approach. And so we're working on that and on really stepping out those investments to where we have what we need to pay the county's bills, but we are, wisely investing the tax dollars.
So it makes more.
So it makes a little bit more while
absolutely.
we can. So.
And you've also streamlined your offices too,
Yes.
so that the roles are different, responsibilities are different, and
Everybody knows clearly
makes
what they're doing
more
now. Yes,
sense.
and it all lines up. Yeah.
And I think that's interesting that all three of you have done that in your offices in one way or another. So we only have, I'm going to say 3.5 minutes left. So Tammy, tell me a little bit about some things. I know you've already talked about some things you've streamlined. What else is going forward?
Well, we've streamlined quite a bit in the office, but I think the two latest items, and then I very quickly want to hop to another topic, but if we have time, but sometimes at the end of the month, beginning of the month, first of the month, our lines are longer because of vehicle registration expiring. And so in order to try to accommodate our customers, we have a new online scheduling that's available for the Conroe and the Woodlands locations.
That's amazing.
And they have a variety of services that you can schedule appointments for. And you can arrive 10 minutes early, no later than 5 minutes late. And if you're within that window, then you'll still check in at the kiosk, but you're taken to the front of the line. So we've been doing a lot of Facebook.
That's cool.
Notice of that, trying to get people.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
And we're following
It took
this.
me 5 minutes to do the whole process.
And
That's
so
nice.
we've been doing a lot of trying to get that notice out there to our public, and we've seen our stats go up from that. But another thing is we've recently done is I'm always looking at and reviewing our procedures. How can we become more efficient? I don't ever want to become stale, and we've rolled out this new module. It's an internal that the public wouldn't see it, but hopefully it will expedite the end results, which is refunds. We issue a lot of refunds, and that's because
What do you get a refund for?
Well, property tax, believe
Okay.
it or not. The tax roll is constantly changing. It changes every day. And we receive supplements, which are changes from Harris County Appraisal District, Montgomery County Appraisal District, and San Jacinto County Appraisal District. And with those supplements, it's changes in value reduction, it's late filed homesteads, over 65, just different exemptions. And so we issue quite a few refunds each month as a result. And this module allows us, we pull payments to make sure that we are issuing the refund to the correct person, to the correct taxpayer. But this pulls it all together into one module where the images are with the account. instead of us having to go to different locations to try to retrieve all of that information, the application, everything is together if necessary. So hopefully we just completed our first process of that, and it was amazing how quickly it went.
Well, I think that's fabulous. So if anybody wants to find out more information about what you're doing in your departments, how you help the community, they can go to mctx.org and scroll down by alpha, treasurer or district clerk or tax assessor. And the funny thing is, Tammy, you don't have a bad name. I mean, people think bad things as tax. You are actually bring a smile to people.
Oh, well, thank you. Thank you.
And I am very thankful that y'all are here today with us, and hope that we can do this again soon. So that completes our show. This is sponsored by Rodgers, Stein Chiropractic, and I'm Margie Taylor, and we'll see you all next week.